All right, we had a flash flood warning earlier today around parts of New Orleans and especially around Algiers, which recorded at its site there on the WeatherWise network more than 5 inches of rain. A lot of other spots around New Orleans about 2+ inches, especially with that cell that just hovered over a big part of the eastern part of New Orleans and into St. Bernard and parts of the West Bank. We are looking at everything quieter, as you saw on radar, as we head into tonight. In fact, even some stars visible I noticed outside this evening and tonight as we have clear skies. And we do have a quiet picture along the Gulf Coast, at least. What we're talking about as far as the tropics go is this same system that we've been highlighting or talking about for the past couple of days. And the National Hurricane Center today also highlighted this general spot for potential development at the end of this upcoming week. So notice in the next couple of days, nothing happening with this. It wouldn't be until the end of the upcoming work week, I think Thursday and beyond into the weekend, that we even have a low chance of development. So that's the spot where any potential formation would likely happen. But again, the chance is low. Either way, though, it does look like we'll have increasing rain chances at the end of this coming week. So that'll bring some rain, hopefully not too much rain, and then also it'll bring our heat down. It looks like at the end of this week with that rainier pattern. Look at all this deep tropical moisture, and you can see this spin with this broad low pressure area. Whether a surface low right along those warm waters of the Gulf tries to form, that will be the thing that we're watching for later this week. But just watch these oranges, these deep oranges moving over even our part of Louisiana and along the Gulf Coast by Thursday and into Friday. And then I've paused it here at the end of the upcoming weekend. A lot of tropical moisture available for rain and showers and storms to tap into. So that's why we're looking at our rainfall totals. This is all the way by next weekend. So we're looking at all the way to July 19th from now. The blues and purples you can see are up to about 2 to maybe 3 or so inches of rain. This is all very early in the game, but it does look like we will probably have some rainier kind of days coming at the end of this week and into the upcoming weekend. Now, models are not very aggressive with developing it, but that's because we're still many days out and it's not there yet. So I'm starting it here on Wednesday. You can see the isobars here indicating lines of equal pressure. So this is where low pressure would try to possibly form. You can see why it's highlighted here in the northern and northeastern Gulf. But look how big it is. This isn't really tightening up in any way, even by Thursday and then into Friday. The high out here, by the way, will kind of be guiding the low pressure across the Gulf from east to west. This is by Saturday, some rain around, but you can see no small tightening rotation kind of spot of low pressure, at least with the European model. The GFS also not aggressive at this point. So certainly something we'll watch. These are the big things to keep in mind, though. Low pressure in the Gulf late this week. Right now, it looks like low chance of actually organizing and developing, and models not aggressive, but clearly we'll have low pressure in the Gulf over warm waters. We'll watch it very closely. But again, it looks like it could be potentially mainly a rainmaker. Right now, our temperature at 84 as we get into our more local forecast. Of course, we'll watch that really closely for you heading into the next several days, but we do have time to watch it. Any organization would likely be slow to happen as we get toward the end of the week. Current temperatures around 80 or so. Our feels like temperatures still stuck in the 90s in spots. Tonight, we're looking for lows in the 70s. And tomorrow, our high probably close to where it was today, which was exactly at 93, just a degree or 2 higher than average. This is our forecast through tonight. Pretty quiet. Let me show you tomorrow, though. We have another maybe 40% or so chance for scattered rain. 10 a.m. things are pretty quiet, but starting to see some coastal storms get going. 2 p.m. showers and storms in the area, just like we've seen many days lately. And this model actually has it wrapping up a bit earlier, maybe even by 5 or 6 p.m. most of the rain gone, and then by sunset things much quieter. As for Monday and Tuesday and maybe into Wednesday, it does look like we may have a bit more heat as opposed to that higher rain chance. Toward the end of the week, this is tentative. We'll have to change it as we see things come into focus, but it does look like we'll have a decent chance for scattered rain, and that might not be a bad thing for you if you're looking for temperatures to go down. So we may have our highs maybe more like upper 80s, potentially a little below average. Might not be bad for a few days. Of course, we'll watch everything really closely. We'll keep you updated in the next several days as we get closer to the end of the week.